You got it? Are you done dicking around, or you want to clack it again so I can actually mark it up?
I'll mark it up. Come here.
3,
Shit.
2.
Stop laughing. It's a serious show.
You wanted this to be scientific, didn't you?
I wanted it to be sensible originally. But
Yeah, well, that's never going to happen.
Ship has sailed.
Evolved quickly, didn't it? Go on then.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yes, indeed. There are more questions than answers. Like, will the kids of today ever know the real dangers of struggling to flip a cassette tape in a Walkman whilst riding on a bicycle at the same time? Hi, America. Hello. Well, my name is Adrian Lee, and I am your host. Getting the original Walkman was one of the best days of your life, wasn't it?
Yes.
Do you remember
I never
that?
got one.
Your family was poor.
Yeah.
You just had one of those little Fisher-Price that, like,
I had 8-track.
Mary
Does
had a
that
little
count?
lamb. David Cassidy on
I
an
had to
8-track.
carry around my Smurf record player.
The battery was in a suitcase. This is why her shoulders are so large. Look at her. Well, if our batteries get too low before the end of the show, we'll just turn off the bass boost and we should be okay. Welcome to the show. More questions than answers. The only paranormal quiz show anywhere in the world. Each week, my guests and I will search the world's newspapers, websites, and TV shows just for you, to bring you the very best in paranormal talk radio entertainment and enlightenment. We will then test each other's knowledge of the week's events of the mysterious, strange, supernatural, unusual, bizarre, and just plain weird. If you've just tuned in especially to hear the show, then I admire your taste. If you have just tuned in by accident, then I admire your luck. I am huddled under my quilt with a large flashlight and a nice cup of tea with tonight's guests, somewhere in the barren wildernesses of the Midwest Plains, with the sound of my elderly mother snoring distantly from the room next door. Now each week we press our ear against the bedroom wall, whatever my mother listened to before she went to bed picks and pulls on her unconscious mind, and that's the very tune that she snores. Let's have a listen tonight.
That's Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells every week. Can't be. Do you know on Christmas I'm going to do Jingle Bells, and you're going to tell me it's Bohemian Rhapsody? I bought a pirated video of Bohemian Rhapsody, and all I got to see was a little silhouette of a man. It was terrible. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Do you know why she's snoring that very tune?
No.
It's not your birthday.
It's our 250th episode.
I'll
Some
drink to
people
that.
are more enthusiastic than others.
I'm
So snuggle under your covers, turn out your lights, and hold on tight. The rules are very simple. Points will be awarded randomly for being interesting or for making me laugh or shiver in horror. Extra points will be available for shock and awe value. To help me control my rowdy panel of recidivists and reprobates, I will employ what I have called the inappropriate bell. An example of this would be... The panel have no idea what's coming. I have no idea what stories they have for tonight's show, so let me introduce my guests. Firstly, the mysterious and effervescent Heather Morris. She's
Hola.
been a paranormal investigator for many years with her own team called Hellhound Investigations and does all of her best work in the shadows.
Not anymore. Look, I got a curtain. It's
You
got
are-
lights.
And does all of her work
Not anymore.
under the lights. She is now one of the leading pole dancers and EVP experts with the International Paranormal Society, and pours some sugar on me and brings her research skills to tonight's show. She is our producer and sound engineer. Welcome to the show, Miss Morris.
Hello.
Heather farted on the bus today and 4 people turned around. She felt like she was on The Voice.
I'm going to hurt you. That's all there is to it. I'm done.
The biggest step in any relationship isn't the first kiss, it's the first fart, do you not think?
I thought it was the first hit.
Oh my. Where's violence with you? I think that was the Dalai Lama or Confucius said that back in the day. I also wish to introduce the mad and crazy Michelle Corrie. She was born and raised in Mora, Minnesota, and has a keen and avid interest in all things paranormal. Michelle went onto YouTube this week to watch a music video. Then 5 hours later, she found herself watching a tutorial on how to talk to giraffes. Welcome to the show,
God.
Michelle.
It's true.
I wonder how long it would take a giraffe to throw up. These are the things that keep me awake at night. I'm not going to get sleep tonight knowing that.
How many stomachs does a giraffe have?
Well, I'm guessing because they
You said
must-
4?
Well, Nathan's with us at the moment, and I'll come to him in a second. I would say 4. They're very bovine, aren't they? Do you not think?
I don't
And
know.
they chew the cud.
It was a question.
I bet on our listening party that's currently taking place on Facebook,
Yeah.
someone's going to post how many stomachs. Sure. I wanted a
You're
serious
welcome.
paranormal show. This is ridiculous. I'm going to introduce our resident doctor and attorney, Nathan. Welcome to the show.
Because we need him again.
Nathan, because we need an attorney right now.
Yeah. Bad.
Dr. Nathan Bush. Nathan's neighbours knocked on his door at 2:30 a.m. this morning. Can you believe that? 2:30 a.m.
Oh.
Luckily for him, Nathan was still up playing the drums, so that was good news.
I don't get it.
Well, no,
I
you
don't
don't. That's
get
because you
it.
had a knock on the head and you've got percussion.
Oh.
Do you know what drummers get on an IQ test? Saliva, I believe. That would be the answer. They're mad, they're bad. And they are paranormal. This is season 3, episode 77. And that means it's our 250th episode.
Yay!
We're going to have a bit of fun with that tonight. And we've packed the studio. Miss Morris is so excited that she's now sounding like Sasquatch in the background.
He's here.
Far too much to drink already. The merriment has started very, very early. I want to mention we have a listening party taking place right now. So we're about to jump into a round of general ignorance. If people wish to jump in and answer the questions, if you go to Facebook, search for More Questions Than Answers with Adrian Lee, you can join in the merriment, the fun. All of the stories are there, the banter, the gift wars, and people are playing along. And we have 500 to 600 comments during the course of a show. So thank you to everyone who's currently listening in our listening party. Thank you for joining us for our celebratory 250th episode. And we've got some surprises coming along the way. I'm
Where's
also
the
going to
cake?
mention, say that again?
I want the cake.
You
Is
want a
there
cake,
cake?
do you? I've got things that are better than cakes. I have stuff with me that is better than cake. You will be
Alright.
convinced.
I will?
Yes,
Okay.
you will realise the wonder of our 250th episode
love
very
it.
shortly, and it won't be cake related.
Okay.
Also in the studio providing a laughter track are our good friends and Patreon supporters, John and Lisa. You can shout hello in the background for me, guys.
Yay!
We have a studio audience, and they're going to
We
get a
do.
higher score than we are.
Buggers.
You know that's 100% true. So with the TV dinner, Martin's sponsored gong of infinite knowledge, the fondue of facts, and the pop rocks of statistics. Stand back, ladies and gentlemen. That's always impressive, isn't it?
Nice.
Any way the wind blows. Perfect.
Martin.
On this very day, in 1844, the German-American entrepreneur Henry John Hynes was born, famous, of course, for founding the Heinz Company. And isn't it nice to use the sentence German-American entrepreneur without referring to atomic weapons?
Yeah.
So, without further ado, introducing for the first time in the history of MQTA Radio, I cannot believe that bizarre, strange, and fascinating facts about ketchup. Feeling confident?
No.
There's no confidence in the room for the ketchup. Do you like ketchup?
No.
Yes.
You do.
I don't like raw tomatoes, though.
You don't like raw tomatoes.
They're gross. They're fleshy. They're gross.
But you like
Tomato
ketchup. I had a friend back in Britain that would put ketchup on everything, much to the pain of his poor mother. Ice cream, ketchup on ice cream.
Scrambled eggs.
And everything had to have tomato ketchup on it.
Yeah.
So here's our first question of the evening. If you wish to grasp the slippery red points that are now available. Tomatoes did not make it into ketchup until the late 1800s. Can you imagine this? Tomato ketchup without tomatoes. That's like alcohol-free beer or Queen with Adam Lambert.
Oh, you stop it. I love him.
Controversial.
He is my boyfriend.
Here we go.
I love him.
I'm pretty
And
much
he is
100% convinced that he'd have no interest in you. I'm just saying,
I don't care.
Nathan has more chance with Adam Lambert right now.
I don't care. I would convince him.
Well, don't stop
I would
me
become
now.
a man.
Would you really?
For
You're gonna
that
rub,
to happen.
You're going to rub Rogaine on your chest.
Eat the magic beans.
Take a trip to Thailand.
It doesn't matter. I love him.
Okay. Well, luckily this isn't about Adam Lambert. It's about tomato ketchup. To win your points tonight, you need to tell me why tomato ketchup never originally had tomatoes in it. And there was a good reason for this,
Because
Miss
it
Morris.
had red peppers in it.
It was made with red peppers instead of tomatoes. Why didn't
Yes.
they use tomatoes in tomato ketchup?
Because there was a plague.
There was the famous
They had
1864
tomato
tomato
mold.
plague of New York.
the mold tomato plague
Yes, shortage of tomatoes.
of 1876.
I didn't know you were a historian on all things horticulture. You're surprising me with
Yeah.
your knowledge this evening, Miss Morris.
It's
That's your
true.
answer, is it? The famous tomato plague. How comes I've never heard of this?
Grasshoppers. It was grasshoppers.
Locusts.
You've managed to give me 5 answers. Does that leave anything for you, Michelle? Why was there no tomatoes in tomato ketchup?
Because of the war.
What war? Any particular war or just a war?
All of them.
Yes, one of the side effects of global war is a shortage of tomatoes, of course. That's
Yes.
always
Yes.
been the case. Anyone in the studio audience want to shout out a sensible answer to this? No, apparently
No.
not. They considered tomatoes back in the day to be poisonous because they thought they were related to the nightshade family and they were deadly. So no one ate
I
tomatoes
have
back
some
in the day.
growing.
I have some growing too, but we've now discovered they're not poisonous. Can you imagine nightshade ketchup on your McDeath burger?
It's not. I have some ripe.
You have some ripe nightshade, do you? You're
Yeah.
making ketchup out of it. Wow. Can you imagine back in the Victorian period? She's such a loving wife. She makes me a nice bowl of tomato soup every day.
And it's a fruit.
It is a fruit. You're right. The difference between wisdom and knowledge is knowing that a tomato's a fruit, but then not knowing not to put it in a fruit salad.
Ooh.
There you go. Sherlock Holmes and the mysterious case of the Bloody Mary.
I love Bloody Marys.
No points to be won in our first question of the evening, but do not fear. There are many more lumbering around
great.
the corner. How do Heinz suggest you get ketchup out of their bottles quicker?
You wiggle the pickle.
You wiggle the pickle, you get the ketchup out quicker.
No, it's true.
You wiggle
The pickle.
the pickle, and that gets the ketchup
On
out the bottle.
Heinz, I learned this when I was a waitress before I was a bouncer.
Wow,
So-
natural career progression I'm suggesting.
I moved up in the world. So you
we
have
go.
a glass Heinz ketchup bottle.
Yes.
And on the Heinz ketchup bottle, there's a little pickle. Okay. So you can't stab it like a lot of people do. They try to put in a butter knife or a spoon or the back of a spoon or something. That doesn't work because I've
Okay.
seen it fail a million times.
Well, you're leaving this show with more
so
than you arrived
what
with,
you
aren't you?
actually have to do, you know, the rubber pencil trick? What you have to do is you have to put your thumb on the pickle in the end of the bottle and you squeeze the pickle and then you wiggle it up and down like this and it comes out like butter.
Yeah, that's 100% wrong. Michelle,
It's right.
how do
Ask
Heinz...
any waitress.
How did
I
Heinz
know.
suggest you get the ketchup out of the bottle quicker? Wow, that's disgusting. I'm glad we got cameras in the room to capture this. You're suggesting you tap the bottom hard.
Yeah.
No.
Apparently.
It's wrong.
Well, let me
It's
suggest to you...
sexy, though.
Well,
Wiggling the pickle's better, Michelle.
whichever way you decide to do it, the pickle's on there, but your Heinz suggests that you tap the pickle. So the pickle's there to tap. If you tap the pickle with your finger, Heinz suggests the ketchup
Yeah, it's
will
wiggling
come out.
it.
No, it's tapping it. No wiggling involved.
You don't hold it like this and then tap it like that. It'll fall out of your hands. You have to wiggle it.
Well, apparently 11% of Americans know this. Only 11% of America knows that you tap the pickle.
You're welcome.
No, you got the question wrong. You fall into the other
Completely right.
89%. To be fair, though, only 11% of Americans actually know who the president is at the moment, and most believe that Little Red Riding Hood is a Russian contraceptive.
Oh.
There are no points to be won as yet. The singer Ed Sheeran has a tomato ketchup label tattooed where? Where does he have that? Ed Sheeran. He's got that tattooed on his body. The more detail, the better it will be
on
for you.
his belly button.
You think... So the ketchup bottle actually, the lid of the ketchup bottle is his belly button.
Yeah, so he can wiggle the pickle to get the juice out.
Okay. You're obsessed. Let's have 10 minutes not involving pickles, shall we, just to get through this? Oh, no, it's sad, isn't it? Michelle, where do you think Ed Sheeran has a tomato ketchup label tattooed on his body? You're going to go, you're pointing, which is obviously really useful for radio.
Forearm.
On his forearm. Anyone in the background want to shout out?
On the top of his
Nathan says on the top of his head. Any thoughts? Anything you got there, John, you want to share with me? Pick a body part. Leg. I'm going to give Lisa the points. It was on his arm. It's the inside of his left arm. So the studio audience now has 2 points. Miss Morris looks very unhappy with me. Why are you unhappy with this situation?
It's all about wiggling the pickle.
I thought we all agreed we'd leave that alone for 5 minutes.
No.
Wow. I'm just thinking out loud here, but I don't think that was the perfect thing to do when he was drunk. But I've seen a photograph of it, and he could not look happier, even though it left a small bump.
Oh, no.
I actually referenced about 8 Ed Sheeran songs.
Did you really?
Absolutely.
I don't even know one. I don't.
Some ginger-headed British guy.
Can you tell me one song he sings?
Yeah, I've just listed 8.
No, the title.
I can't bump, drunk, photograph, happier. What else have we got here? Thinking out loud.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole
I don't
series.
know him at all.
He's had about 8 or 9 number ones in this country. I just thought I'd share. He's very popular. I think his tour that he's just finished is the highest grossing tour in the history of music. He's made more money than anyone else in the history of music on his current tour. But he has a Heinz ketchup label on the inside of his left arm, and Lisa was the closest. And the studio audience is currently in an assailable 2-0 lead. Heinz is 150 years old this year, so they're 100 years behind us in terms of episodes, of course. But happy birthday to them. Very quickly, what was the first ever product that Heinz created? It wasn't
57
tomato.
sauce.
57 sauce. You think that too?
Yep.
It was actually horseradish. Was their first
my favorite.
ever product. 11% of Americans, of course, refuse to eat it because it's made of horses.
Yes.
That's not true, but I still love it.
This is why Heather Morris won't touch cock or van.
Because of the van, right?
Yeah, she hates vans. She's had some terrible experiences in the back of vans. Wow. This is getting away from me somewhat, so let's draw this back again. On this day, in 1939, famous Hollywood actress Betty Grable divorced actor Jackie Coogan after just 2 years of marriage. Apparently, it never made it past the first fart or the pursed hip.
The pursed heart?
Yes, a pursed. Nothing better than a pursed tart, is there?
The pursed tart.
Yeah.
I don't mind normal tarts, but I want mine pursed. I just thought I'd slightly kind of...
I know how that works.
That's how that works. Do you know who Jackie Coogan is?
Yes.
No.
Would you like to share that with me?
He's a gangster actor.
Well, Jackie Coogan was the first gentleman who played Uncle Fester in the Addams Family.
Oh, it's my favorite. I love it.
And in recognition of the release of that today, the animated film actually came out today.
I want to go see it.
We're now going to have questions based on the bizarre, strange and fascinating facts surrounding the Addams Family.
Are we?
Oh.
Are you more confident than Ketchup?
Yes.
No, not really.
Well, we'll
but I
see
love it.
how many points slip through your single fingers.
I don't care.
The Addams Family were the first family to have what televised in their home? Now, several weeks ago, the Brady Bunch we discussed had no toilet in their house, but that's not something we're aiming at tonight. So the Addams Family were the very first family on television to depict what in their home.
Ooh.
What do you think, Morris? What are you going to go
Kissing
with?
on the arms. Morticia.
No, this is some sort of... This is an object. It's not... I'm not talking about ethnic kisses or anything else. This is... What did they have in their home for the first time televised?
Bearskin rug.
So you think for the first time in the history of television...
Or
they
a dragon.
Oh, a dragon? Every home should have one. Or a bearskin rug.
Yeah, but my mom doesn't visit very often.
Wow. We are definitely banning drinking in this studio. I thought I put some laws in place to do with the consumption.
It's the 250th. You can't.
Fair play. I'm not going to argue with you. It's your answer. For the first time ever depicted on television, you've spread your chips liberally on bearskin rug and dragon.
Isn't it right?
Do you think your chances of getting this right are high or low at this point?
Probably low, but ask me if I care.
Well, there's points again. I beg you, Michelle, if you wish to embrace the idea.
They had a bed that they shared, not two twin beds.
That everyone was in the same bed.
Yes.
So for the
and
first
they had
time,
a Cleopatra.
And they had what's a Cleopatra?
The plant she fed.
Oh, they had a plant as well. Well, let me give you some clues, and the first person to shout this out, and the studio audience can participate as well. Every family has probably a couple of these now. I got mine when I was 13. It was black and not very big. I spent hours on it and with it, playing with it every day.
A magic 8-ball.
Much to my mother's consternation. Anything you'd like to share? Anything else that you'd like to throw in there? I'll give you a clue as well that several years later, the Batcave then depicted one, but it didn't get there first. But the Batcave for the Batman and Robin series actually had the second one of these. Does anyone want to jump in? They had
bat?
The Batcave.
With a bat.
I'm going to put you out of your misery. It was a home computer. They were the first family on television to show a home computer. This is going really well, isn't it?
I don't remember that episode.
Everyone has a duck egg, apart from the studio audience, who managed to work out where Ed Sheeran had a tomato ketchup tattoo. I once punched my computer in frustration and broke my hand. I needed tech knuckle support.
Oh, God. No.
God. Dang it. No.
There will be points going, because I will persist with this until the correct answer is forthcoming. Though it originally aired in black and white, what colour was the Addams Family wallpaper, Miss Morris?
Red.
You are going to go red. Michelle's going purple.
Blue.
Nathan goes blue. It's not been... the correct answer's not been given yet.
Orange.
Give me
green.
Yellow.
Keep going.
Pink.
Miss Morris wins her first point in the round that we call What's My Colour?
Yeah, it was freaking
It was pink, even though the show was in a black and white. It was your favourite. It was flock wallpaper, you'll be pleased to know.
Love it.
From the Latin word floccus, which means lightly haired, like the top of Nathan's head. There we go.
Wow.
I recently discovered that I was colourblind. The diagnosis came right out of the purple.
I don't get it.
I love this show. What is Wednesday Addams' middle name? And the clue is actually...
Tuesday.
Yeah, it is.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday. What is Wednesday Addams' middle name? What are you going with?
Morticia.
Tuesday.
You're going with Tuesday. You are wrong. What are you going with?
Morticia.
Yeah, it's not Morticia. Any other thoughts? What's her
Fester.
middle name? Shout it out. Anything at all.
Thursday.
No.
Buster.
Morning Glory.
Wednesday Morning Glory.
Wednesday
hard.
dead. Wednesday dead.
It's a day of the week. You just haven't
Wednesday,
Saturday,
Saturday,
Friday,
Wednesday,
Monday.
Sunday.
Michelle has won the points on the quiz. What's my day of the week? It is in Friday. Her name was Wednesday Friday. My personal trainer asked me if I was flexible down at the gym. I said no, I could only make Wednesdays and Fridays.
No.
What was unique about the suit Gomez Addams wore during the filming of the show? He was, of course,
It wasn't
played
meant for him.
by the actor John Astin. Michelle. Heather said it wasn't made for him. Who was it made for then?
Lurch.
It was made for Lurch. It's going to be a big old suit. So what was interesting about the suit he wore? What was unique? It wasn't his.
I used to
That's
know
right.
this.
You used to know this. So how long do I give you? Like 10 minutes while we fill in with...
It was his own suit.
It wasn't his own suit.
It was an Undertaker's.
I'll give you a clue because this has been a really painful couple of rounds for me and no one scored hardly any points.
Obscure questions do that.
They did something to his pockets.
Oh, they sewed him shut because they didn't want him playing with himself.
Nope.
No, that's actually true.
They made him extra deep.
Nope.
Hold on. For photography,
yes,
we learned that.
Sew up the pockets so people don't play with themselves. It is true.
Tuxedo pockets are sewn shut, so you can only pull your, I don't know what it is, but it's so you can't play with yourself.
Really? You got to leave the twig and berries alone. They sew the pockets.
Yeah, don't touch yourself.
Oh.
None of these things are true. What did he used to do on set, do you think, that made them...
Jingle change.
Nope.
Pocket watch.
Well, I'll give you a clue. Well, if I give you a clue,
Frog.
We're pretty much done at this point. They lined his suit pockets with...
silk.
Asbestos.
Oh.
What?
He had a habit of putting a lit cigar into his pockets.
Oh, that's true. I loved him.
They lined his pockets almost like oven gloves back in the day to stop him
Oh, that's terrible.
from having a few incidents and accidents on fire. So he would often end up wearing a blazer and a pair of flares.
Oh, that's got to be not good for his health.
Like my pants.
Yeah, your pants are on fire, are they?
No,
They
they're
were
made of
made-
asbestos.
You've got asbestos pants.
3-year-olds from Wish.com.
Sorry.
Michelle walked into the studio. Where did you get your pants from tonight?
Wish.
And how much were they?
$2.66.
And what have you been complaining about since?
That 3-year-olds made them.
They're itchy.
Really
itchy.
They're made of eyelashes from elephants.
You have pants with a lining made of elephant's eyelashes, apparently. Who knew?
$2.
That's a lot of elephants. I just feel bad for all these elephants going along the plains of the Serengeti, now squinting in the sun.
All the sand in their eyes.
That's right. I feel quite bad for them. That's
But
terrible.
your pants look great.
They do look good. They do look good.
Thank God for your elephant eyelashes lined pants.
Oh, yeah.
Good God. That was then. But this is now as we enter our favourite part of the show. It's the mailbag. We love the mailbag, and we've got a bit of a surprise coming in the mailbag. If you wish to write to me, I would love to receive your comments of support, as the whole team likes to read them. If you wish to go onto Facebook, more questions than answers with Adrian Lee, you can do that now and leave nice messages, and we will read those out. Sam, who's a good follower and friend of the show,
Hi, Sam.
she has posted, "Hey, MQTA peeps."
Hola.
Where's my peeps? I've not had peeps for ages.
I am peeps.
Peeps.
Last night's show was phenomenal. I don't think I could have snort-laughed water on myself any harder.
Nice.
You're welcome.
You guys and girls rock. I know exactly what part of the show that was.
What was it?
That
I
was
forgot.
the zombie Skittles.
Yep.
Oh,
Where 10 minutes in, you suddenly went...
I can't help it. It was gross.
That was very, very funny. And thank you for Lisa and John, of course, for providing
Yeah,
those.
thanks, Lisa and John. I will thank you personally later.
I'm going to read out one of Lisa's comments now in the third person, like she's not in the room.
Right.
Lisa added, you could come and read this out. Lisa added, "Thank you for all of your great laughs tonight. I love this show."
Oh.
We love you.
And now she's laughing in
Thank
the studio with
you.
us. Diana posted, "Awesome show tonight. You guys were hilarious, and the zombie Skittles added so much fun to the show. I do 4 to 5
Great.
hours of work on this show, but people laugh at the zombie Skittles, apparently.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Thank you for keeping us entertained on a Friday night. Love you all."
Aw.
Now, several weeks ago,
Yeah,
for our 250th anniversary special,
yeah.
I asked our listeners and followers if they'd like to tell me how they first listened to the show, how they first found us. And I'm going to sit and read these out now. And all of these people follow the show. They're probably listening right now in our listening party.
Are they good?
Well, I'm not going to read the bad ones out. I send them to my mother.
All right.
Catherine posted, "I have listened to Dark Matter Radio for a long time.
Okay.
Then one Friday night I was listening to Dark Matter with my headphones on, and I suddenly realised I was giggling in my sleep
Aw.
because of those silly laughing ladies.
Yay!
I've been hooked ever since. So we're even funny in people's unconscious mind.
Oh, bunk
Thank
drink
you.
just for
Bunk
me.
drink.
Bunk drink.
Lorraine then added, my son refers to this show as the Laughing Ladies.
Aw, I
Ooh,
love
bunk
you,
drink
Lorraine.
again.
And the
Yep.
unhappy, miserable Brit. Dee said,
Ooh, truth.
Dee often, of course, comments and listens to the show.
Hi,
One night,
Dee.
after listening to Art Bell, I fell asleep and woke up. Why is everyone sleeping while we're doing this? Is it my voice?
It's your intro.
It's my intro, is it? I'll try and be more jocular next time, shall I? For the 11% of Americans who can't focus on anything. She said she fell asleep and woke up to the MQTA show. I woke from my sleep laughing and laughed for the next 25 minutes.
Awesome.
I then told my other half, Bill, that you guys were hilarious and we needed to start listening. And by the way, if I
Hi,
mention
Bill.
Bill's name, he's going to be beside himself happy, apparently.
Bill.
Hey,
Right.
Bill.
And he's on a promise tonight now, so good luck with that, Dee. Kathy posted, why? Question mark. Because
Hi,
I love
Kathy.
this show.
Aw.
To quote
Thanks,
Adrian,
Kathy.
it's so funny but also endearing. Adrian and the team, you are all awesome. Don't ever stop. I need this.
Oh.
It's a joy, isn't it? Lorraine said, I found myself lying in bed. Everyone's lying in bed.
Yeah.
I've got this image of
Either sad or
100,000
intriguing, I
people
don't
all around the world
know.
with the lights out listening in bed.
Nice.
Lorraine said, I found myself lying in bed laughing my arse off
Nice.
as I listened to Heather and Michelle laughing theirs off.
That's because we're drunk.
I was in a twilight sleep, and as I laughed, I became wide awake, and I've been hooked ever since.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
Lorraine.
you so much.
Jill said she knew about the show because he raised her hand during a paranormal conference. That is true. There was 250 people in the room. I asked a question, and she was the only woman who put her hand up, and she looked very embarrassed. But that's
Aw.
how
Well,
we
thank you.
first met.
Yeah,
That
way to
was
go,
in
Jill.
that was somewhere like Iowa. I can't remember where
Darn
we were.
Iwegians.
Down there somewhere. Catherine posted, I listen to the show live when I can, or on Patreon and SoundCloud.
Oh,
I love
thank
this
you.
show. Wow.
Oh.
And his books and this group. Thank you for all the laughs and the good
Yay.
times. Remember, we're on Patreon. Do you want to discuss very briefly what's on Patreon and how people can contribute to the show?
Trouble. Lots of trouble
It
is
is a
on
lot of trouble.
Patreon. Well, when you go to Patreon, what you're going to find is all of the episodes extra earlier than everyone else. And they have the Not For Your Mother segment in it, which is a naughty bit. A bit where we don't get to say it too much on dark matter, but we made a compromise and now we get to be naughty.
It's the adult part of the show. It's the stories from
Yeah.
around the world that we cannot read on air because they are full
And
of adult material, but people say it's their favourite part of the show.
you can hear it first.
Yes, if you go to patreon.com, search for MQTA Radio. We love all of your support of the show. It's
That's
a single
right.
dollar to listen to all of those. There's much, much more on there, and every cent of that dollar goes towards the studio, goes towards
It
our...
actually helps to support the show.
It does,
It does.
100% true. I want to give a shout out to Heater, our good friend
I love him.
I love Sita too.
in New York. We love all of your graphics and all of your work on the show.
And Martin's gone.
Yes.
And Martin's gong. Heater said, I was poking around TalkStream when I came across what appeared to be two rambunctious women with sexy voices.
Ooh.
Who's
Oh,
it?
sexy.
Was it you?
I look like a rambunctious woman, do I?
Well,
No.
Torturing a decent British chap who was earnestly trying to put on a podcast. He's nailed that, hasn't he?
yeah.
That's
The
so
show
good.
was over too soon, so I tuned in the following week. Sure enough, I was right the first time.
Oh.
And then Rosemary added underneath that, because Heater suggested I check it out. It's been great fun ever since.
Oh, thank you,
Nice.
Rosemary.
So thank you for all of those people that contributed to comments on how they first found us for our 250th episode. You can catch us, of course, for the first time on a Friday night at 10 p.m. Central Time. We have 100,000 listeners in 190 countries all over the world.
Well, I was just going to say that not only would I like to thank those people, but I'd also like to thank our longtime contributors, both Martin, who supplied the gong.
Yes, Martin's gong of infinite knowledge.
And a big supporter since the beginning has been Robin. So thank you, Robin.
We love you, Robin.
And you also
Thank
got a nice little present.
Oh, I did.
You did. You're going to grab it now.
But I'm not going to say who it's from because I don't know if he wants me to.
But you got a little present in the post this week.
Look at this.
She's got a Sasquatch Bigfoot lunchbox.
Awesome.
Look at this Sam Squatch lunchbox.
You've got a Bigfoot. And is there a flask in there and everything?
I don't know. I haven't opened it. I probably should.
God, it's probably full of
things.
No,
you've got
plenty of room for your lunch in there. So
it's
thank
empty.
you to the gentleman who sent Miss Morris
Santa.
her Bigfoot lunchbox.
Yeah, he said he sent a message and he said, I know how you like Sam Squatch. So
That's awesome.
You get a little present. Of course, we're on SoundCloud. You can catch the show on soundcloud.com if you go to MQTA Radio. If you're listening now on SoundCloud, why not press the little orange love heart? Show us how much you love the show. And of course, the Not For Your Mother section is on there as well. You can catch us on all of our platforms: iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Brussels Sprouts, Gasbox,
Spotify,
Froggy Went A-Courting. Everything's there.
A Froggy Went A-Courting.
Twitter, you can find us on there. We have 100,000 followers on Twitter. Adrian_Lee_tips. We have lots of fabulous things on YouTube. If you search for Adrian Lee and MQTA, lots of outtakes, funny moments. You'll actually see us in the studio. And of course, my books. My latest book, of course, is Ghosts and UFOs, connecting paranormal phenomena through quantum physics.
Christmas is coming.
It is. I've got a lot of places I'm going to be selling my books. I just thought I'd share that for you. If you're around tomorrow, if you're around on Saturday and you're in New Brighton, if you're in Minneapolis, you can come and find me at 1:30 p.m. I'm at the MUFON meeting in the New Brighton Centre. You can come along. It's $5 for non-members. We're going to be recording that for the TV as well. So there's my presentation and book signing tomorrow. The New Brighton Centre, New Brighton, 1:30 p.m. And you can come and find me there. I'll sign the books. I'm going to give my talk. I'm in a library as well on next Wednesday, 10 a.m. If you're around 10 a.m. in a place called Onalaska in Wisconsin.
How do you spell it?
It's near La Crosse, Onalaska. It's near La Crosse. Next Wednesday, 10 a.m. If you want to catch me, I'm in the library giving a talk on art and symbolism of the cemeteries. You can join us. And of course, the Curse of Oak Island is starting up soon. 5th of November.
It's been a long time.
I believe it's the 5th of November. Tuesday, 8 p.m. We're going to start our watch party again. So just a couple more weeks.
I can't wait. Get your booze.
For that. Now, this is everything in your life surrounding libations, isn't it? This is everything.
Oak Island needs it.
It does. Yes. You can't watch that dry, can you?
No way.
Don't go in dry.
No,
to Oak Island.
Do not.
It would be a bad
idea.
Now, as this is our 250th episode, I think I'd like to go back and visit some of our greatest moments.
Oh, don't do it.
In the history of MQ.
No.
TA.
No.
So down by my left-hand side right now on the floor as I'm reaching for it.
Dang it.
Oh, God.
I'm going to have to look.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
I don't want to.
Can you see what I'm holding in my left hand?
No. Jubes!
Return of the Jubes. It is. Return of the Jubes. Come on. Return of the Jubes. Oh, my God. You knew that they'd be back.
Oh
it's the Jubes.
God.
Now, we got these from the candy store in Jordan.
Be bad.
They're all the way from Japan. The last time we had Jubes, which was probably about 2 years ago, can you remember the mess? Can you remember the disaster?
What's this
I got high on these.
Yes, you did.
This was ridiculous. Too. I completely lost my...
You should have 4.
Well, I'm going to undo the Jubes.
250 the Jubes. Undo the Jubes.
Come on.
Undo the Jubes.
I can't get the wrapper off.
Chew 'em.
I should have brought some scissors with me.
Undo the Jubes.
Do you know what that sounds like to me? This is great for radio. I can't get them open. Keep going. Do it on your own. I'll be there with you in a minute. Has anyone got a penknife?
Jubes are square. And they taste like coconut. You got to?
Na 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 na. Na 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 na, hey Jubes. Nathan has managed. I'm gonna decant these out as best I can.
No, you gotta take your finger. Take your finger. All the juice will come out, and then you won't get none of the squidgy bits.
I'm afraid of the jube juice.
Hang on, I have a spoon. I'm gonna decant these out. Everyone's gonna be
Should
trying.
I read a story while you do the
I'm
jubes?
on top of this, honestly.
Why don't just take a mouthful of jubes?
Everyone's gonna get
and you swish them about.
I've got some shot glasses.
Why are you doing a double split shot glass with jubes?
It just seemed appropriate.
This is wrong. Anybody who's a drinker and would see this on camera, you would cry.
Hang on a second. I'm going to pass these around.
Somebody's going to choke and die. And
well, I'm sure we're not insured. This is why we have our attorney with us right now.
Jube, 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 jube.
Hang on. The
jube, jube, jube.
Why don't you explain to our
jube, 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 jube.
Wow. Why don't you explain, good God, to our listeners? We've not even broken the tubes yet.
Oh God.
We've not even broken the tubes, man.
Oh, I had too much fun doing that. Oh God.
Why don't you explain what jubes actually are? Why don't you? Because I'm going to eat some.
I can't read it. The package is in Chinese.
Hey, why
Been here for many years and fermented in coconut juice. They are flavored with a berry that is a flavor with straw.
Oh, lovely. Get them down, you boy.
And they don't actually taste like a coconut, but I think my jube is stuck in a funnel.
They're not that bad.
Yep. Only get the jube juice.
Heather, rub the pickle.
Squidgy square thing that look like a coconut.
As much as it pains me, I've done 3 lines of jubes right now.
Woo! Oh, very sticky, very slimy. Go behind and between your finger like this.
The other thing I wanted to go back and look at, are you getting these back there? Are you embracing the jubes back there?
I can't get them out of the fucking crevice.
Would you like to read, Michelle, what that says?
No!
I have a packet of Harry Potter's Bertie Bott's beans.
Oh, God.
Do you remember when you first got to taste this, Michelle? This was your first ever episode 3 years ago. Can you remember what episode that was?
Episode 70.
And?
Of season 2.
Yes.
So you're not going to look. I just want you to pick one out. We're going to play Russian roulette. Everyone's playing this, by the way.
She should take 2.
Michelle, just hold your hand out. Oh, you got
What were your
flavors? Put a couple back.
First I got grass and I thought it was gin and tonic. Then I got sausage and dirt.
Yay!
And then the final kicker.
Just take one. No reading the packet. Just take one.
Yeah,
and
don't
I'll
look.
go around the room.
Earwax.
You've got
and
a
that
choice.
made me throw up.
Just take one. It's like Russian roulette.
Now that we're doing the anniversary, in a way, of Michelle, yeah?
Yes, this is
okay.
right.
So while we're all doing this, before you take this, can I do my first story?
Well,
because it has to do with Harry Potter.
Excellent. Go on then, jump in, win yourself some points in the round of ghosts.
Before you
just hold back on the beans. Okay. Don't eat it. You're not meant to eat it, Nathan. That's just the point.
Just so you know, Harry Potter spells can summon evil.
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 Wow.
A private Catholic school in Nashville has claimed that the Harry Potter books contain actual spells and curses. I curse you, you buggers.
I've got God as my armor. Do I look worried?
Well,
I could go through the gates of Hades.
Well,
a little.
St. Edward Catholic School in Tennessee, which teaches children up to the 8th grade, has taken steps to remove every copy of J.K. Rowling's popular book series from its library because its pastor, Reverend Dan Rahale, believes that they contain actual spells capable of summoning Evil.
The Jubes are kicking
Spirits. Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
I shall tell you as you let your beans melt in your hand.
in. Honestly, my hands are on the table.
These books
Oh, here we go. Jeez.
present
Mary
magic.
and Joseph.
Magic. As both.
What country was this?
It's in America.
The US
in
of
the
Amoeba.
Southern region, somewheres where they don't allow the Potter books.
Look at her face, look.
I know, right? They represent both good and evil, but it's not true.
Them there Duke boys have been up to no good.
But in fact, it's a clever deception which you would never see before your eyeballs. The curses and spells used in these books are actual curses and spells because I looked them up in the encyclopedia, which, when read by a human being as opposed to a dog or canine,
We have reading dogs in Britain. You're way behind the times.
being risk of conjuring evil spirits into the presence of a person reading a text or words on a page.
I'm following. This seems like a lot of hard work for 2 points.
The Harry Potter series, which has often drawn criticism from religious groups due to its portrayal of wizards, witches, and the occult, is well known for its often dark spells, including the infamous Avacadabra, or something like that. Killing curse, because I've said it many times to you, Mr. Lee, but it doesn't work. And Crucio! Crucio! It means that you have a pain in your groin.
Oh, in your groin?
That's very odd because it's in my neck and arse right now.
Which is used to torture an unfortunate subject. I would consider you fortunate. All of these, however, are purely fictitious and utterly meaningless to the real world. This hasn't stopped St. Edward Catholic School from removing them from its shelves, though. Reverend Dan Rahel, I don't know what his name is, said, well, within this authority to act in that manner, each pastor has...
Oh,
I don't
I'll
know
help you
what
with the long word. The Jubes are kicking in. She can't read. Do you want us to help you with the long
Give
words?
me too many Jubes, man.
It was the Jubes, man. I don't remember the 60s, man. Me and Keith had too many Jubes, man. And then on our third album, right, we wrote a song just about Jubes.
I'm still touching my beans. Hold on.
Oh, my.
I swapped mine for a cow.
Oh, shoot. One of my beans fell off.
Well, let's go with what you've got. Is there an end to this story, by any
Hold on.
chance?
I bumped my mic because I'm so excited. So, each pastor has a can of knuckle.
Oh, what, a can of knuckles? You're going to get a can. You're going to open up a can of knuckles. A can of
knuckles.
Don't you make me come over there and give you a can of knuckles. Down there, them can of knuckles, boy. Chewy musky. Can I move on at some point? I've got a show to do.
Authority to make such decisions for... Oh, wait, that was in an accent.
Jubes, the ability to make you lose your motor neurone skills.
Such decisions for his parish school.
Perfect.
Superintendent of
Oh, there's
schools
more.
of the Catholic Diocese in Nashville said, there you go, Nashville, you suck.
Okay.
Potter
Now,
world.
we have our beans in front of us.
I missed my bean fell off.
Michelle, pick one of the coloured beans. Explain which one you're going to go for right now. It's like Russian roulette. You've got all different colours there. Pick one.
I have green.
You're going to go, well,
One that looks like a
the
stone.
bar's shut at 11, so let's crack on and choose one, shall we?
I think this one looks like vomit.
Okay, well, don't choose that one then.
I should do it for
Just
the show,
stuff it
though.
in, go.
She's going for one that's
Roulette,
kind of
go.
brown. How would you describe that? Oh, yeah, that's vomit. Good call.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Morris, what colour's your... Give you a juice. Yep, she's vomiting.
You can have some of my juice.
Well,
I got a white one. Let's see how this goes.
Didn't go quite as well as I would have hoped.
Mine tastes like it's a wax crayon.
You've got the wax. You've got earwax, haven't you?
I don't know what it is, but
Nathan,
it's not great.
Are you gonna? What colour's yours?
Oh, fuck.
Yep, you've both chosen badly. You've chosen poorly. What flavour's
my
yours,
God.
Nathan? What would you describe that? 3 people are vomiting right now. Yep, Nathan's gone as well. I bet that makes you want to try yours, doesn't it? What colour's that, John? You've got white as well.
That's a good thing we all got this on video.
I've got 3 people vomiting in front of me. Oh, Jesus. That went badly. What flavour's that, John? No, Lisa, what colour was yours? Go for it. What's the blue one?
Oh, God.
There's some water if you need it.
Oh, alcohol.
I'm scared it'll swish it around.
Blueberry. Yeah. Wow. Mine's yellow, so I'm going to go with that.
Oh, God. Oh.
Yeah, it's lemon. Lovely.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow. That went badly
Nathan.
for quite a few people there, didn't it? Well, I'm going to read a story out in the round that is Ghosts and Hauntings.
These are awful, you.
A woman has told how a fortune teller correctly predicted she had a secret brother. Michelle Morrow, 41, from Washington, was a teen when she stumbled across a tape recording of a psychic telling her mum, Marlene, 67, that her husband, Edward, 76, had a son from a previous marriage. Stunned by the revelation, Michelle confronted her parents, only to be told the mystic was a fake. You've no idea what's going on in the background. These people just
No, I'm
up.
concentrating on
Not puking.
Yeah.
However, 29 years later, Michelle took a DNA test and discovered she did in fact have a sibling called Tim, 51, proving the clairvoyant's seemingly outlandish claims to be correct. It was summer of 95. I was 16 and driving my younger sister Jenny to work in our mum's car. We put a cassette tape into the player expecting to hear the Beatles or Elvis, but we were confused to hear our mum's voice. We realised we were listening to a recording of my mum and her friends talking to a fortune teller. There was some talk about tarot cards, and then we heard the woman say, "This is your husband's second marriage, isn't it?" Mum denied Dad had a child and told me not to bring it up again. I pretty much put the whole thing out of my mind until 25 years later. Jenny then bought me a 23andMe DNA test for my 40th birthday, and the results were in. I then discovered that I had a half-brother. The memory of the fortune teller hit me like a ton of bricks. I visited my mum and told her about the DNA match. The moment of silence between us seemed to last forever. Then my mouth fell open as she said with excitement, "No way, I've been looking for him," and I stood there in shock. Psychic, prove right, or a complete shenanigans?
Shenanigans.
You decide. Go to our Facebook site. More questions and answers with Adrian Lee. What have you got for me tonight in the round of Ghosts and Hauntings, Michelle?
Halloween costumes.
It's Halloweenus.
I love wieners.
More Jubes, madam.
I love you.
Wow.
Forget dressing up as a witch or zombie. This year, the daring trend of glitter boobs is set to be all the rage, but with a spooky twist. Many people have been sharing their photos of their breasts adorned in sparkly design themes on the scary celebration.
Really?
Bold designs include pumpkin glitter boobs,
Every day of the week.
otherwise known as the most impractical Halloween costume of all time.
Wow.
What?
Certainly not for the faint of heart.
What if you
Glitter-
get glitter in your eye? That'd be bad, wouldn't it? Can you imagine such wonders?
I can think
Has
of
that-
worse things.
Has it ever happened to you?
What,
Yeah.
getting glitter in my eye?
Yeah, last week, right?
Well, I always take a spare shirt with me. I don't want to get glitter on my shirt, do I?
Were you at a strip club?
Wow. Who, me?
Yeah.
Terrible things. I went and saw Bridget the Midget, so I'd share that
Oh
with you.
boy.
I had a story about her. You remember that one?
Yeah, she had a
Yeah.
fight. There is,
Yeah.
she was
It's a bit rowdy.
Bridget the Midget. She can't
Bit
take
rowdy.
her drink. That's the problem.
That's true.
I'd like to talk about my boobs now.
Well, go for it.
Glitter fanatics
I
are
get the
getting
feeling it's the elephant's eyelashes in the room.
Glitter fanatics are getting in the mood for Fright Night with this seriously outrageous pumpkin-themed body art. Many of orange
Yeah.
sequins, and the signature jack-o'-lantern smirk.
You've got to have orange sequins, haven't you, for Halloween,
Yes.
surely?
There's no denying that this experimental costume is a work of art all in its own right. Meanwhile, the beauty gurus at Go Get Glitter have also created their own spider boobs look, created from artfully placed jewels. This look is understandably not for the faint of heart and requires someone with bags of confidence.
Oh, I see what you
What?
mean.
Yes. Meanwhile, why not try skull or skeleton boobs for the big day, which are also doing the rounds? Yeah. The online store has posted an Instagram picture detailing how to get the wacky new look. First, you outline 2 skulls with black body paint, then fill in the shapes and add a spot of red to create the hollow eyes and nose. Finally, add a sprinkle of iridescent sparkles, and voila, you're good to go.
Will you leave this score with more than you arrive with? If
Yeah.
you go to our Facebook site, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee, you can see that glittery Halloween boob story in full. Do I have time to squeeze one more in, Morris, if I make it a quick? Russians selling fortune-telling tortoise, $70,000, with owner claiming it can successfully predict the scores of football matches. Remember Paul the Octopus and maybe Mystic Marcus the Micro Pig? Well, say hello to Donatello the tortoise, who could be yours for almost $70,000.
Huh.
That's right, the latest psychic animal to apparently predict the outcome of various sporting events has emerged and is on the market. Donatello can reportedly call football matches by walking up to a piece of paper with the winning team on it. You just have to wait a week, that's all.
Really?
Owner Alexei from southeast Russia claims the reptile has extrasensory abilities and has won $2,000 so far through bets as a result of Donatello's predictions.
Yeah.
But now, the 2-year-old, named after one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is understood to be up for sale on social media for 3 million Russian rubles, or just shy
Whatever.
of $70,000. Alexei said the principle is simple. You write the names of the football teams on pieces of paper and the tortoise will go to the winning side, so you need to bet on that result. However, he added, my family urgently needs the money, therefore I have decided to part with my beloved tortoise. It is unclear why
What was
Alexis does not use... What was what?
Did you say tortoise?
It's a tortoise.
Tortoise.
What did you think it was?
It's a tortoise.
A tortoise. It's a tortoise.
It's a tortoise.
And this is what it's tortoise.
Not a tortoise.
It's a tortoise.
It's a tortoise.
Tortoise. It's a tortoise. It's always funny, isn't it, when an American corrects an Englishman's English? That always
Sounds
makes me
about
laugh.
French, doesn't it?
It is
Tortoise.
unclear. Well, I'm sure the French have a word for it. It is unclear why Alexei does not simply use Donatello's alleged psychic skills to raise his funds. According to reports, no one had responded to his advert yet, willing to shell out
Oh, no, you did.
for the tortoise. From Russia with love or heavens above, you decide. Go to our Facebook site. More questions and answers with Adrian Lee. We've got one more story in the barrel on our 250th celebratory Jube-filled episode. Miss Morris, what have you got for me?
Oh, I'm going to say bunk on yours.
If you're playing the Bell Bunk and Snort drinking game, can we add vomiting to that, by the way?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
There's 3
absolutely.
people in the studio.
That was fun.
Yeah, nothing funnier than vomiting, is there?
All right. Here we go. Are
I
you
thought
ready?
Nathan had a weak stomach, but he was throwing it just as far as you.
Here we go. A Bigfoot investigation group has revealed a grainy black and white image taken in North Carolina. The photograph, which was snapped on the banks of Lake James, thank you, James, was taken during a sighting of a strange humanid.
Hominid.
Humanid.
Humanid.
And it humanid out. Wow, I'm sticking.
Who was skulking, whatever that means, in the
Skulk,
trees.
it was a teenage Sasquatch, wasn't it? His mum had taken away his Xbox because he hasn't tidied his room.
In the trees at around 2 a.m. last Saturday. The group Bigfoot 911, because they couldn't think of an original name, has long been involved in the investigation of the Bigfoot phenomena. I locked right into this
Oh, here
creature.
we go.
And then
She's got a whole series of, accents from A through to B.
And then I knew immediately it was one of them big feet who had the big feet and he had some hair. and he was rather tall, and he was skulking through them there woods.
And I said, don't look.
Don't look.
But it was too late.
And
She
my
looked.
feet and the toe jam there lies in between my toes. That's what I said. I said I locked it right onto the creature. This creature, I knew immediately it was one of them big feet. He had big feet. And then I said, he was standing there.
The clue is in the name, isn't it, to be fair?
And
It's
then,
a giveaway, isn't it?
And then he was standing there and he was watching me with those eyeballs because he had big ones and those eyeballs. And then he was swaying back and forth like, like this in the trees. You could hear those leaves rustling and he's going,
And then he
in
ordered a
between the
fry and
trees.
some mac.
Yep. And then I guess he felt safe because
He married my daughter.
the four of us were then in a boat and he was on shore and he was waving at me like, hiya.
See,
No, he really didn't do that. I added
He
that
didn't
part.
wave at all. You're just making stuff up now.
The sighting lasted for approximately 5 minutes before. Oh my God, if you guys could see the video, that's hilarious. Oh, the sighting lasted for approximately 5 minutes before the creature disappeared into the trees.
Nice. I almost wish I was there.
I know. I didn't feel we were in any sort of danger, so I didn't get my gun out with the double barrel and the shock butt shot, whatever.
You're not an expert on guns, are you? I can tell.
All I know is
Give me one of them shot butt guns.
You know, those Bigfoot, they're curious creatures. They have eyeballs and fur
Yeah,
and
they're
toes.
so curious. We see them everywhere.
They want to watch us like some sort of voyeur in the windows.
Okay.
That's because Bigfoots are curious.
They want to know what we're up to.
But also they wanna get away from us, so they're kind of speedy big feet.
Okay.
So they're fast.
So they're curious, but they're a bit nippy.
Yeah, kind of like a road runner.
They are.
They're the road runner Bigfoot of the southern North Carolinas.
This is why you never see one. What
That's
we
right.
need is an Acme van full of rockets and bombs. The best way to catch one is to paint a tunnel on the side of a mountain would be my advice, and watch it run in. Something to do with an anvil.
They don't want to engage with us at all. So you gotta watch out for those big feet, 'cause they like to watch you. Somebody's watching you.
This is a public information service, so if you get kidnapped by a Bigfoot, you've only got yourself to blame. It was a show made up of jube juice and jelly beans and copious amounts of drinking. I'm amazed we got through it without any
I am
incident
too, yeah.
or accident. Well, all good things come to an end. So let us look at tonight's scores. In last place with the K2 meter and the dead battery is the studio audience, who never got off
Yay,
a
audience!
2. They have to share between themselves a spell book and an old curse and an empty packet of jubes, but they can lick out the innards, so not all
Great.
bad there.
Excellent.
In third
Awesome.
place, I finished with 4 points. I get a pain in the neck due to some dodgy voodoo, so I'm going to rub some Bengay into that. In second place tonight is Michelle, who scored herself a rather resplendent 5. She gets a tube of glitter to rub all over her jubblies and a midget stripper, so good luck with that tonight.
I like
In
snitches.
first place tonight on our 250th celebratory anniversary episode, winning the $33,000 IR camera and making it up to a rather sexy 6, is Heather Morris. She gets, that's her guts after eating jelly beans. She gets a
So
fortune
happy.
telling Russian tortoise and a selection of dipping sauces.
Ooh.
Do not fear, listener. We are back with a whole new bunch of stories next week at the same time, and I would love for you to join me for a fun and informative journey through the world of the paranormal, strange, intriguing, bizarre, and weird. Please tell your friends and family about the show, and feel free to contact me anytime via my Facebook site, More Questions Than Answers with Adrian Lee, and why not nip over to SoundCloud right now and search for MQTA Radio, because we're going to stay in the studio and do an extra 20 to 25 minutes of filth. You've been listening to More Questions Than Answers, the only paranormal news quiz show anywhere in the world. With Adrian Lee, we are the very best in paranormal news radio entertainment. We are the light Before the Darkness, my gratitude and greatest thanks are extended to Lorna Hunter, Heather Morris, Yaton Drainer, Michelle Corrie, Nathan Bush, Heather Morris, and John and Lisa, and all at the International Paranormal Society in paranormal.net, and all of the show's sponsors, including the Lakes Area Paranormal Interest Group and MUFON of Minnesota. It just remains for me to say thank you for listening over the last 250 episodes. I hope you're going to join us for the next 250
Yay!
episodes as well. And remember, be interested and interesting. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Lazio. I have a fun one and a short one. What do you want?
Do them both.
Hold on, I'm still adjusting my microphone. Chuba 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 chuba.
She's having way too much fun.
Chibba, 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 chibba. Na 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 na. Hey Jude.
Chuba 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 chuba.
Won't be buying them again.
Oh,
I bet there's no one else in the world who's having as much fun with Jubes as we are.
Jubes!
Return of the Jubes.
We are the best commercial for YouTube Jubes that I've ever seen.
I can feel them kicking in.
This is Japanese. I bet they've no clue what we're doing.
We're big in Japan.
Wow.
Turning
I have a
Japanese.
shirt
I
that
think
says
I'm turning
that.
Japanese. I really think so.
Your ass is going to look like a Japanese flag. I know that.
Wow.
Yeah. Get ready for that
Oh.
game.
Wow, you were
Game.
going to say, get ready for that, Billy.
Billy the Bear. Billy Bear the Bollocks.
Okay, I got one. Yeah, 1 and 1. 2. That's
One on
2.
one is 2. Well done.
1 and 1 is
You're getting the
Jubes.
hang of this, aren't you?
Jubies.
Juba, 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 juba.
Eat another one. I dare you to eat the grey one.
No.
Eat
It
the
makes-
grey one.
It makes me happy that Nathan
take
got a shitty one, too.
I'll take the red one.
It's going to be cinnamon, you bastard.
Oh, my God. Did you get one of the... Here's the sad
Oh,
part
lovely.
is...
Beautiful.
You should probably try one of those Skittles, Adrian. Give him a blue Skittle.
Oh, it sticks on your tongue.
Give him a Skittle.
That's good. That's good.
You should eat a Skittle.
Green ones.
No, you gotta trade them for a different color, Nathan. I'm not taking any of your Skittles.
I'm not. Nope.
Nope. No Skittles for me, Nathan. No.
No.
I don't want a damn Skittle. Go. Oh, I don't know where that came from. We don't have tax. No, fuck your Skittles. Go away. Adrian has more Skittles for you.
God damn it.
You're having a run of it, aren't you?
These are disgusting.
It's their fault. Look at them. Look to your left, Nathan. Nathan, look to your left. It's their fault.
You did that? This is awful.
Adrian! Edward! Knock it
Oh,
off!
you're so mean.
What are you doing? Get off of it! We have a show to do. We only got 40 minutes left. Go.
It tastes like grass
Ugh.
that I peed on.
No. Ew.
Perfect.
And this is why I drink.
Mine tasted alright.
Oh, I had one of the bad ones.
What did it taste like?
It tasted rotten. It was rotten food.
Was it the rotten egg one, Lisa?
Yeah, it was the rotten egg.
Yeah. See?
You've had quite the run of it, haven't you?
I spit that shit out. It's still in my freaking garbage over here.
Okay, ready?
No, there are people that are not ready.
There's people vomiting.
Oh, don't worry. Get the bucket. She will be after my
I've
story.
had good ones all night. Everyone's been good for me.
No, not another one.
Oh, I got a good one.
Yeah,
Would you like
Hello.
the
Yeah, have one of those.
bucket story towards the end or the middle?
Go to the end.
All right, hold on.
There's a green one there, but that's apple.
I'm not doing it.
Lovely.
I'm not doing it. Ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. And oh, fuck it, I forgot to write the end. Must be
Well, you've gone
around
green.
104.
That's a rough trot you're having there, isn't it? That's
Maybe
a bad run
with
of things.
a question mark.
Well, I'm going to eat some more Jubes while we're away.
See, this is why we can't do this in front of a live studio audience. They would be totally unentertained.
Yeah.
What? the fuck?
Bloody hell! God, I mean, my brain's out. Jesus, did you have that?
Oh, yeah. You should see it amplified on
More tea, Vicar.
That's
God, it went right down my ear.
that's totally going on the video.
God.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Things rattled around.
I'm
in
sorry.
there.
Not
Piece
sorry.
of Lego fell out that went in 1973.
Hold on. What's wrong with you guys?
The main thing is we've got all this on video.
And they'll have to pay for it, bastards. Fuckers.
Oh dear. Do you want some water? I've not done anything with it.
I have alcohol. Will that help?
The seal's still on it.
She's like, hold on. And then you can have the rest, maybe.
That's only half a gallon you got there. What's that, blackcurrant schnapps?
I don't know, but Michelle didn't get me any mixer, so it's pure alcohol.
Oh, a rough trot.
Look at your face. Do it to the camera. Rough trot.
What do you mean? What's
Is
wrong?
this cough syrup and NyQuil?
No, it's all just peach schnapps. It's just 100% peach schnapps.
God, look, it's medicinal.
Take some more.
What
It
do you
won't
mean?
make your
Hang
ass
on a
sore.
second. What do you mean, look at my face?
It won't make my ass sore?
You know,
Yeah,
you
drink
guys
some more,
can't.
you'll wake up with a sore ass.
Yeah, it won't make your ass sore. Keep drinking. That's what Adrian always tells me.
It's gone.
The face you make when you look at me like. Do it to them. Do it. Show them what you really look like. Go on.
I'm not quite-
Do this. You go. He goes like this. He goes.
That's just my resting face.
You're resting. What is it? Oh, it's
People
pure.
have to go home tonight, Maurice.
It's
Hurry
pure.
up.
It's pure alcohol. Woo!
Shock and awe.
I love this
With
show.
a hint of disappointment.
Ah, good times. All right, ready?
Yeah.
1, 3. Oh, snap it. Clack it, you bastards.
Clack it.
Three, 2, 1.
We now enter the round that we call Not For Your Mother, which means you've come and found us on one of our platforms. So thank you for being tech savvy and coming to search for us.
Yeah.
If you're listening on any of our platforms right now, you can write us a little bit of a review, or you can press the little orange love heart if you're on SoundCloud, or you can cut and paste the link and share it on your social media and tell the whole wide world that you're currently listening to the only paranormal news quiz show anywhere in the world. If your mother's of a nervous disposition, if you have small children in the room, they need to be removed. Would now be a good time to tell everyone that I've got palpitations from eating the Jubes?
Not really.
Where are they?
Where's my pal? In my heart. What?
Where's the midgets?
Send in the midgets.
Send in the clown.
You've been... Wow, well, to bring everyone down.
Where? I don't know the rest of it. I just know
There ought to be clowns. Clowns.
Something about
clowns. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Clowns.
clowns.
After the height of the Jubes, it was only a matter of time before we crashed and burned. It's happening as we live and breathe.
I'm coming down hard.
Yeah, that's a big down after the Jubes, isn't it? Wow. Well, I have a story that's dying to get out. It says,
All right.
Nurse pretended woman's vagina was a ventriloquist dummy in front of her colleagues. I'm not going back in the box. I'm not going back in the box. A nurse examining a vulnerable patient in front of colleagues made it appear her vagina was talking. A professional hearing
How?
was told he through his voice, apparently.
No. How?
Did he put
I'm-
his hand in it?
Well, no, it wasn't. Let me describe this for you in graphic detail.
Super glue the fingers to the outside.
William Kennedy was examining the woman, referred to only as patient A. Surely patient
course.
V would have been a better
Yeah.
way of doing this.
Oh.
For abdominal discharge in front of 3 colleagues when he pulled her labia apart and said, "Hello, my name is patient A," treating her labia like a puppet.
Oh.
A nursing and midwifery council, the NFC panel, heard. I don't remember that in the Muppets. Didn't see that. That must be on the DVD extras, I guess.
Yeah.
But when he was subsequently questioned, Kennedy played down the offence, saying it had been blown out of all proportion. An NMC hearing said in Cardiff. The 58-year-old, who was prosecuted over the incident, was said to have been blasé when discussing what had happened, with the panel noting that Kennedy had been described as justifying and minimalising the offence, describing it as having been blown out of proportion, relying on the absence of sexual motivation and his own sexual orientation. He is said to have said what happened was the result of a failure to take his medication. And a socially awkward situation,
Really?
which he even tried to blame on those in the room. He was just trying to make the room laugh, apparently. The other people in the room were to blame, as they were enablers. Despite there being no further issues about Kennedy's nursing practice, a number of concerns raised about the level of his insight regarding his conviction when discussing the incident with his probation officer saw him referred to by the NMC. He's not practicing now, apparently, but he still likes to keep his hand in. If you wish to see the ventriloquists act on the vagina, you can visit our Facebook site, More Questions Than Answers, with Adrian Lee, and you can see
No.
the story for yourself in full, plus 3
No.
minutes of rather amusing video.
No.
Miss Morris, what have you got for me now in the round of Not For Your Mother?
The grouch.
You've got the Grouch.
Grouch.
Yeah.
Christmas just around the corner, 12 weeks away.
No,
something?
that's the Grinch.
Yeah, come on,
Oh,
man.
I'm sorry. I thought the Grinch was something completely different, I have to say.
Well, what I've got is the designer creates shocking thigh gap jewelry because I'll never wear that crap.
Thigh gap jewelry.
To highlight
You
women's...
dream there's a gap between your thighs.
Exactly. I said it. I don't want it. It's unhealthy.
I don't
it's
need it.
gross.
You gotta let it breathe. don't you?
It's nasty. Unless you're 7 and anorexic, you shouldn't have it.
No. Unless you're wearing your elephant eyelash lined
Itchy pants.
$3
well,
pants.
he created jewelry to highlight women's unhealthy obsession with super skinny legs, which is disgusting. Everything's disgusting.
It's all disgusting. It's disgusting. You're disgusting. The whole thing's disgusting.
The whole thing's disgusting. I'm never going to have that. If any of you listeners out there are fantasizing about it, it's not going to happen because I leg press over 450 pounds. It's not going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I feel as if we're learning a lot more about Morris.
I'm just
tonight.
saying. I'm strong. Squish a
You
coconut.
notice whenever she has a drink,
Crack a coconut.
she
maybe
gets
a watermelon.
you're squashing a watermelon between your thighs, are you?
It happens.
Okay.
'Tis the season.
She can't go back to Walmart.
No.
There's a picture of her on the wall in the office. Watermelon squasher. Clean up on aisle 2.
Gallagher.
Well, the thigh gap is increasingly becoming one of the most worrying body aspirations for young women. Well, thankfully, I'm not young either. Well, kind of. I don't know. Maybe. Middle-aged, whatever.
Is there a story
I have
in here?
issues. and now a jewelry website appears to be catering to the trend, selling bespoke gold chains designed to hang in the space created by two concave thighs. So kind of like you just have balls with tassels and hair.
Well, okay. Just what every woman
Stuff.
wants.
Apparently, because you want to show that stuff off. The piece is created by So Kyung Bae of Singapore
If you say that 3 times, a genie will appear and we'll get a wish.
for company T-Gap. Retail between $175 and $195. The 18-karat gold, and I'd melt it down to make a nice ring. Plated pieces are designed as chains that loop around the tops of the thighs, dangling a gold tassel between the thighs. I don't need that there. A bizarre jewelry seems to be created with scrawny thigh-high women in mind. That's right. Thank you. I love that descriptive word, scrawny.
Scrawny
They
thigh-high
shouldn't
women.
happen. You should be able to crack a walnut in between that business. Anyway, rather than the vast majority of women whose legs touch above the knee. And they should. And you should be able to. And you should be able to squeeze his ears in between his eyeballs.
That's how Nathan broke his glasses.
Yeah.
Encouraging this type of body shape may seem extremely concerning, but T-gap is not all that it appears to be, apparently. So don't encourage your girls to have a thigh gap, because I've also heard it's bad for you to drop your phone into the toilet. Just saying.
Who'd
Not a
have
good
thought
thing.
that having fat thighs would be fantastic news
You
for
don't
those
need
not
tassels.
dropping phones in toilets?
You need something to stop your iPhone from going in.
True.
So
Well, again, you leave this show with more than you arrive with. Michelle, what have you got for me tonight in the round of Not For Your Mother?
If a hot water bottle just isn't doing the trick anymore, you can now buy a 4-foot-long, penis-shaped pillow.
4 foot. What's that, an elephant? Just go to bed with a
Eyelashes.
golf bag would do the job,
golf
wouldn't it?
to see you through the long winter nights.
Very long winter
does it
nights.
warm up? Because that's what I'm obsessed with.
No, I want a cold
I need a
one.
hot penis.
I'm sure there's men in prisons all over the world right now currently
Oh,
putting
yeah.
pen to paper.
Makers Firebox claim the novelty cushion called Pierre
Oh, it's French.
I love it,
is,
Pierre.
is here to keep you warm on the long, lonely nights.
Mm.
The e-tailer responded to calls for an even bigger Pierre, as shoppers weren't satisfied with the existing sizes on offer, adding, "You like it large, and we get that."
So, can I ask a question?
Of course.
Is it a hard pillow or a soft pillow? I just-
I think it starts out.
It starts out
being-
soft.
That's right.
I was just
It's
curious.
made of memory foam.
Memory foam pillow.
Yeah.
These things need to be known.
Okay,
Oh.
you're doing research for Christmas, eh?
Jumbo Pierre, the body pillow, now joins the existing range of the world's smallest Pierre the penis pillow, and even a giant Pierre the penis. This larger-than-life version will set you back 40 pounds.
$60,
Yeah.
$70.
But did we mention how adorable he is? Pierre is described as, "We've supersized everyone's favorite adorable penis just to suit you."
Wow.
Don't worry, he's still got his cute little face.
Is it comfortable though? I mean, would you toss and turn and eventually get off, or would you struggle? I mean, wow.
What's wrong with you?
What? Hang on a second. I've spent the last 20 minutes hearing nothing
I'm
but
at
filth.
least logical.
You're logical, are you? That's a
Yeah,
sad
I
lookout.
need to know if he's hard, if I can wrap my leg over, or if my leg's going to sink in, my walnut crushing leg. Like that.
Why are you doing actions? People can't see the actions.
Yes, they can.
Patreon, it's for
Yeah.
you.
If you wish to see Miss Morris doing those actions, you need to spend $1. That's 100 cents well spent. You can't even buy a Mars bar.
Come see my walnut crushers.
He must have been flaccid before because now he's 4 feet of pure magnificent shaft.
Oh, wow.
Is it a furry pillow or is it vinyl?
It's furry.
Furry.
Yeah. It's currently on our
Furry.
Facebook wall.
One of my favorite words.
Really. I like assiduity, but do continue.
Quite possibly the biggest dick in the world, Jumbo Pierre will keep you warm on long, lonely nights for as long as you need him.
And there's long, cold, lonely nights in Minnesota. I will tell you that right now.
That is true.
Firebox adds the Pierre pillow is designed for cuddling, Heather. And shoppers are snapping up the giant appendage, with the online store confirming they sell a penis-themed item once every 2 hours.
Yikes.
I need one.
There's a
Somebody
bell they
send
ring.
me a Pierre.
Wow. You want that, do you? Push through the letterbox?
Yeah.
You're going to get that stuffed in your mailbox, are you?
Yeah.
Wow.
For Christmas.
Special delivery.
I love
Put a
it.
ribbon round it.
Mm-hmm.
Call it good.
Tie around the ribbon.
Tie around a ribbon,
old
okay.
Oak tree. No, it's not the same thing, is it?
That's Dawn. They sang Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me
Oh,
as well.
that's
And
it.
Tony
Got it.
Orlando, I think his name was. Hot Wall, French Willy, or Don't Be So Silly. You decide. Go to our Facebook site. More questions and answers with Adrian Lee. We've had a lot of good ideas for Christmas so far.
We
You've
do,
got your
yeah.
thigh gap jewellery.
Yeah.
We've got Pierre the French
4-footer.
4-foot pillow.
French 4-footer.
You don't often get those words in the same sentence, do you?
No.
Well, Christmas just got a lot kinkier.
Oh.
Yeah.
As you can now count down to the big day with a new sex toy every morning.
Really?
Oh.
Love Honey has released a sex toy advent calendar, meaning that couples can enjoy a very Merry Christmas. I bet you wish you celebrated Christmas now, don't you, Nathan?
No.
Love Honey is a $160 sex toy advent calendar which contains $350 worth of kinky treats.
What if you're by
Ooh.
yourself? Do you have to have a partner?
I think you can explore a lot of these treats on your own.
Oh.
I've had lots of moments, but they've mostly been on my own. The bumper box includes everything you need to heat up things in the bedroom, including bondage gear. I'm not sure you could tie yourself to the bed, but you could try. And cheeky items like super sexy Christmas crackers, and all to celebrate the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Or not? Go
Behind
on.
each door of the sex toy advent calendar is a fun item to help couples ding-dong merrily on high from December the 1st to Christmas Eve. The sequences of gifts has been choreographed to build up erotic tension for mind-blowing finale just before Christmas Day.
Oh.
The whole collection is packaged in a giant luxury box with windows numbered from 1 to 24, just like a normal advent calendar.
I lost my stories.
Well, it's going to be interesting when I come to you in about 30 seconds. The package includes the best-selling $90 We Vibe Unite couples vibrator, as well as toys for both of you.
Oh.
Our research shows that Christmas is the most passionate time of a year for couples. There you go. The man's a fool, or calm in my face full. Miss Morris,
Yeah?
what do you have for me in the final stories?
I don't know. It's on the floor.
You've dropped them on the floor, haven't you?
I've had
Would you
a
like me-
great time. Happy 250th.
Yes. Nathan is collecting your stories for you as we speak.
He's our attorney.
You need a paper clip, or that's just cost you $200. You know that.
No, it's cost you $200. It cost me nothing.
He's been thinking about your case, and it's just cost you $200.
No, it's costing you $250.
Yeah, I see what's
how that
happened there.
goes. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's
Our
do
last
it.
story of the 250th episode.
And I saved it for the best.
There you go.
You ready?
Yes.
Get the
Bucket.
bucket.
Well, it's Michelle who keeps throwing up. My stomach seems to be quite strong in these areas.
Therefore, I've done it for her.
Well, you're a lucky girl, haven't you?
And
she should be
us.
anorexic in theory, shouldn't she?
Give her more beans, I don't care, Jubes. Here it goes. A former British Marine has become the first person to drink a cocktail using his own mummified toe after losing it to frostbite during a race in the Yukon. So yes, he wrapped his tongue around the end of his toe after it fell off and was rotted. And he said, tastes so sweet. And I love it. I want it in some sangria. And I want it in some amaretto sour. So good. And when it touched my lips, I was a little repulsed, but I was like, I like flicking my tongue on that, on the end of my toe. It was so good.
God, that's an interesting shade, Michelle. Wow. What would you call that? Sage or avocado?
Gross.
Let's go and get a Menard's paint chart. There must be a name for that.
Well, to go further, after losing
Olive.
3 toes during the extreme 300-mile-long winter marathon, Nick Griffiths from Bolton returned to Yukon to take the first drink containing his own amputated big toe, he said.
Is it better to drink your own or someone else's? Do you think?
Big boy, give me that big toe jam. I love
Look at her over there, look.
sucking it up through my gap in
Wow,
my
what are
2
you,
front
Catherine
teeth.
Hepburn? Look at it. There's no Oscar in
It's
this.
so good.
And
The
this year's
jelly.
Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress goes to Heather Morris for her part in MQTA.
While in the hospital, a nurse showed him a video of the sour toe cocktail, which is Michelle's favorite challenge, a tradition from Downtown Hotel in Dawson City, Yukon. We've always thought about doing it, but nobody wanted to give up their big toe.
He's not in Toronto then.
The 47-year-old decided to donate his toes to the hotel. He said, here, take them. I don't need them anymore, and I need a drink. After learning they were experiencing a shortage of toes because people
No, really. Let's go to Toes R Us.
had either accidentally
Toe Hut.
swallowed or eaten them on purpose. Give me that toe jam, that nice bacon toe jerky.
I feel
And
bad for
the
them because
sinew.
they'll never be able to experience the joy of a flip-flop, will they? That's what I'm suggesting right now. If you've lost your big toe,
There's only flip.
flip-flops are out. You're just on flops.
Flip.
You're on flop. Look at my flops. Look, if I had a big toe, I'd be able to have, of course, invented by the French-Canadian Philippe Flop.
Oh, no. It took 6 weeks to be mummified with rock salt. That's how long you have to keep your toe in salt if you want to have it in your drink. And I think we totally should for Halloween. Who wants to give one up? Come on, you got 10.
I'm
Let's
happy
go.
with my toes. I don't want to give
I
them
thought
up.
you were going to be saying you're happy with giving up one of your toes.
Yeah, okay.
I got
What could possibly
10.
go wrong? Let's get some garden shears and some ice. We'll be fine.
Have some more jubes.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, tell me if this hurts. Last night, Mr. Griffiths became the first person to drink a cocktail containing the toe at a launch party
Oh,
held at
my.
the hotel. He said it wasn't as bad as you think. It would be more like a lump of ice
Just plop. Does it sink or
with
float?
toe prints
floater.
and a nail and perhaps some jam.
Oh, like I've got a corn plaster in my...
And when it touches your lips, you kind of have to push back a little bit because you want to make sure not to.
You don't want to
swallow.
dribble, do you? Or make a noise. That'd be terrible.
So when you slam it, you can't actually purse. You can't have your lips open because that toe might go in. So you actually have to kind
It's very
of put your
descriptive,
lips
isn't it?
together
You've
a
really
little
thought
bit because if that,
You need to
that
purse them.
toe, yeah, because if the toe comes in, you might accidentally swallow it, and then you might have to fish it out the next morning.
Have you ever sucked a toe?
But-
Has that ever happened? No. Tonight you're
I don't
lucky.
like feet.
You don't like feet, apparently.
Mm.
Michelle doesn't like feet.
The toe looked exactly as it was the last time I had seen it.
On the
You
end of
know,
his
when it
foot.
was on my
That's
foot.
right.
Yeah, in a flop. with a
Nice.
flip. The
You could
tradition.
share them, couldn't you? If you'd lost a toe, you could share them with someone
Would you
else.
like
who's
a
lost-
pinky, or do you like the one that's a little more meaty on the, next to the pinky toe?
Just show it the
Or
pan.
do you like the big fat one?
I
you know,
always prefer,
the
I
big
prefer
toe.
a big fat one, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
The tradition was first started with a toe that had been amputated due to frostbite, which we learned about. If you ever listen to our archives, which you totally should, why aren't you there? And they said for them to get another big toe, because people have been gnawing on it and needing it, was amputated due to frostbite, was the mother lord.
The mother load.
You know, the mother lord.
The mother lord.
Toad.
Bow to the mother lord. You minions. Don't even look me in the eye.
Happy 250th. I'm having a fantastic
I am the
time.
mother lord. I'm going to wipe your face by licking a handkerchief and rubbing it on you. No, anything but that.
He said the hotel often take donations of amputated toes. Well, that's really nice. So if you ever have one that just happens to fall off, you should probably send it to that hotel and impose a $2,500 fine to anyone who accidentally swallows one.
Yes,
You know,
that
in
would
case
be
you-
expensive.
You take a shooter and it just kind of swallows down your throat hole.
That's going to hurt twice, isn't
Right,
it?
Michelle?
If you had to
You know,
tie
if
up
it
your
kind of
ass.
sliggers down there like some sort of maggot
Oh.
with a heavy skeleton
What?
system.
A maggot with a heavy skeleton system. That's a shrimp. Surely. That's an That's a maggot with a heavy skeleton system's a shrimp.
And it goes down your throat hole. And then you have to pay $2,500 in that sucks.
Or wait an hour. just to see
Mr.
what-
Griffith said, I think my daughters get a little fed up with hearing the story so much. They go, "Oh, Dad, I was going on about his toe again. But the whole family thinks it's quite funny that you're missing a digit on your toe,
Right.
feet thing.
And he scares kids by hiding in vegetable
So drink
wax.
it up, kids, friends, whoever are at the bar
Wow.
that wants to have some
Definitely
whiskey.
a ban on alcohol
A
coming in
toe
this studio.
Sour toe whiskey.
I love you. You're
I
my best
love
friend.
you.
You are your
You're
family.
my best friend. Don't chew on the nail because then we can't get our deposit back.
You done? Wow.
It is definitely something I will always remember, won't you?
Yes, these moments will stay with me for the rest of my life. These are
I'm sure.
the moments you
Yeah.
cherish. This is the moment
Yeah.
when you're having your death rattle. Don't worry, if you was at death's door, I'd pull you through.
I'd cut
But-
off your toes. They're worth $250,
Bucks here.
$2,500 a piece.
Wow, you're right. I could live without a couple, and we could buy a car.
That's right.
Good time.
Vacation.
Lick my toe, or that's a no-go. You decide. Go to our Facebook site. More questions and answers with Adrian Lee.
Bye.
And I just want to give a big thank you to all of our listeners and all of our watchers on Patreon at the moment. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your donations, and hopefully watching Michelle vomit wasn't too bad for you tonight.
Sorry.
So tune in, same place, same time next week, and have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. $250.